they're pretty wiped out at center.
Okay.
Does it change the way rotationally or strategically you kind of go into a game like this?
It just depends how the game goes. We're ready to play everybody. We've feel very confident that we can play our big lineup against their small one, but the game will tell us, what we decide to do.
Going to start small?
Maybe not. Haven't made that decision yet. The decision being whether to tell you or not. I just made it. I'm not telling you.
What have you you started small last game.
Yeah.
What have you made of those small ball groups now with a couple games? And did you get the combinations that you like with Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy at the 4 with Draymond is something that, we'll employ every single night. At some point, whether we start with it or not, we'll get to that a lot because it's a really good lineup, very versatile and dynamic, and so we'll get there. But we feel, as I said, very comfortable, playing our bigs and playing Jimmy at the 3 also.
Jimmy's talked about not having his wind. It almost seems like he doesn't.
Not having what?
Having his wind. It almost seems like he's not even that pleased with how he's playing right now. I'm just curious how you see that aspect of his game.
Well, he got tired the first game out there right away, and I thought he was fine last game, but he knows his body better than anybody, and I would think that these next couple of games that should probably change, and he'll get over the hump conditioning wise. So not too concerned about it. I think he's played really well. The beauty of Jimmy is he doesn't have to shoot that well to impact the game at a really high level. That's what we saw in Milwaukee. He was dominant without really shooting a high percentage. So yeah, it's been really fun. It's only 2 games, so we still have a lot to learn and a lot to get better with.
What is his passing open for you guys? Just his ball movement and screening and all those things he's doing when he's not scoring or shooting? Well,
what the passing does is it opens things up for Steph on the back end of possessions, and that's always what has made Steph his most powerful self is when it's not just high ball screen after high ball screen, and he's doing all the work on ball. When he can get off the ball, we can break the defense down with someone else, and now Steph is either attacking a closeout or catching the ball with a live dribble, catch and shoot. That's what really makes our offense more dynamic than it would be otherwise. And so Jimmy reminds me of guys like Andre, Shaun Livingston, guys like that who really balanced out our offense in the past, and so this is a really welcome dynamic to our game.
And then just to follow on that, having 2 shot creators out there together, what kind of effect does that have on 3, 4, and 5 when they're out there?
Yeah, it impacts everybody, and the fun thing is you see what other guys are capable of once an advantage has been created. Quinten, for example, the other night, a couple catch and shoots. He had a great play where he rolled to the rim, caught it, immediately turned and found a weak side shooter. So, the game really connects when you can put a lot of guys out on the floor who can pass and catch and shoot, and there's just a rhythm to it that creates momentum, and that's what we're hoping to see.
Steve, I know you've been laser focused on your own team and have plenty going on, but would love to just get your take on, from the outside, what it's been like watching Dallas and the trade of that magnitude and just everything that's kind of unfolded since.
Yeah, I generally never really like to comment on other teams' trades, so I don't think I'll talk about it in terms of what Dallas did, what the Lakers did in that regard. I have been following the stuff with the fans, death threats for Nico. It's brutal. It's really sad, and you kind of feel for everybody because this is a very emotional business, and it's what drives the business. Is the fans obviously love this stuff, and if you're a Mavs fan and you're heartbroken, that's that's really difficult, to handle. And so that's what I'm kind of most interested in is just, seeing that and, seeing Nico go through stuff that he shouldn't have to go through. It's all really kind of surreal, to be honest with you.
When did the decision to make Quinten Post part of your rotation and take place? Because obviously we hadn't seen him
Right.
Through December. How did you decide that this was now the time to break him out and break everybody else?
Probably around the time we were 26th in offense for an extended month. So we knew we needed a space shooter out there. We had, too many lineups that just didn't have spacing, and it's so hard to win that way in the modern NBA. And we wanted to give him time in Santa Cruz. He had a really good 2-3 months down there to develop and gain confidence and to work on his defense, pick and roll defense. And then it felt like time to give him a shot. And he has been fantastic right from day one. I don't think he would have been like this if we had put him out there in November. I think he needed the work in the G League. And so I think our process was really sound. The guys in Santa Cruz did a great job with him. He really worked hard, and I think he was confident when he came back, much more confident than he was in camp. So I think the process was sound, and it feels now like he's going to be a part of our rotation, for a while.
What's the most unpopular trade you made as a GM, and how did you handle the blowback on that?
I traded Sean Marion for Shaq, and I got death threats, email death threats, and our security in Phoenix looked into it, and I was never overly concerned. I, kind of took it for what it was, which was an angry fan typing away. But it's still pretty disconcerting when somebody, threatens your life. So like I said, I feel for Nico. I mean, this is a tough enough business as it is, and everybody has to make difficult decisions. And I just, everybody is emotional, but there has to be a line that exists, and that one was clearly crossed.
Now, obviously, NBA security staffs, they got people who know what they're doing. Those death threats, you just had the team security handle, or did you go to police?
NBA, yeah, team security, and that led to NBA security, and I think they searched email address and tried to figure out what was what, and so yeah, I'm sure that's going on right now.
Coach, something else the Mavs have dealt with is a lot of injuries. Every team deals with injuries, but Jason Kidd, just the press conference on Monday, he just told us he needed a moment just to take a breather. I was wondering if you had any advice for a coach going through all that with all these injuries this team's dealt with.
I don't have any advice for Jason, nor does he need any from me. I mean, he's a great coach, and he's been in this league forever. I think we all sort of accept the fact that there are just times during the season where you're wiped out. And some seasons you get lucky and you don't have an extended period like this. Some years it goes the opposite way. That's how it went for us. 5 years ago we had the worst record in the league. Steph missed most of the year. We had other injuries. It can be really tough, but it's part of it, and we all get it. You just have to keep moving forward.
We've only seen 30 minutes of Anthony Davis as a Maverick. Do you have a take on what the Mavericks could be if and when they ever?
Well, having coached Anthony in the Olympics and competed against him in the playoffs, I think he's the best defensive center in the world. I mean, he is a phenomenal defender, and what he's capable of in the paint, and switching on to guards, down the stretch of games. He's an incredible player and a phenomenal teammate and person to coach. So, high character, high talent. AD is a real deal.
This is extremely off topic, but Mark Dagnall's coaching in the All-Star game this week, and I know you struck up a friendship with him early in his coaching career. It's kind of a unique path. What kind of attracted you to his coaching style, I guess, early when he was with those like Lee Dillon?
I like the humility on the sidelines, the patience that he showed, when they were going through it his first couple of years. I like the fact that the organization really was wedded to him and gave him all the the leeway he needed. I just thought that the way OKC handled things and the way Mark handled things, you could see they were building something and that they were in it for the long haul. So I like the way they went about their business, and I like the way Mark goes about his.
What would you kind of identify as the biggest issue tonight?
I just think it took us too long to start playing and really focusing and locking in on executing at both ends. And we messed around with the game for too long and then left ourselves vulnerable. And obviously they cashed in. They did a great job.
What plays late do you feel like kind of, I guess decided the game?
I mean, in a game like that, they make a shot. I think Marshall makes the floater. We get a couple good looks that don't go. I didn't think there was anything, egregious or any huge mistakes or anything like that. I just think, like I said, we left the game in the balance because of our poor play earlier in the game. And then, when you do that and the other team is at home and they got a guy like Kyrie who forces your hand and, we left ourselves vulnerable, and it's disappointing.
How would you assess your point of attack defense just with where it's at right now these last few games?
Not good. Yeah, we struggled. My mistake was probably not hitting Kyrie earlier and getting the ball out of his hands. I think we did a pretty effective job of that in the fourth quarter. I probably should have gone to that earlier.
When it comes to Kyrie, what kind of an impact would you say that he made on a game like this one? You said he forced your hand, but my goodness, how would you describe, his 42
He controlled the game, he with his shot making and, the way he manipulated our defense. He was fantastic.
This was obviously kind of a fatiguing game, late tip. You're flying tonight. I mean, can you go with all your veterans tomorrow?
I don't know. We'll talk to Rick after. So it's a tough back-to-back, and that's why that's what makes this loss even more frustrating. Is that we're going to get into Houston at 3:00, whatever it is, because the NBA and its infinite wisdom makes us play an 8:45 game, and they clearly don't care about rest or player health. It's just ratings and all that stuff. So I get it. Everyone's got to do it. The whole league's got to do it. So it is what it is. We got to strap it up and get ready for tomorrow.
Anything specific need to change with that playoff push coming up?
You got to play better.
Where do you feel like this one got away?
Down the stretch. I mean, it was all game. Clay got hot early, Kyrie got hot late, but guard the three was probably the downfall.
What makes Kyrie so tough to stop?
Well, he plays really efficient. So he taking angles, footwork. You can tell that they know what he's doing when he's attacking. He's been in the game for a while, so just a veteran mindset up and approach to the game.
Quick turnaround, obviously. You want to use the ball before break. Just make some mentality going into how do you want to finish this part of the season tomorrow night?
Yeah, big opportunity. Coming in, we can go off on All-Star break right. Just continue to iron out the wrinkles of the team. We got something special, I think, and just, any good team's got to take a little bit to figure it out. So as many games as possible right now, I think it's good on that side.
A step away from basketball, would you take it an All-Star break just to kind of reset?
Yeah, it's a long season and we play every other day. So, so a little break is always good, especially coming right on time for All-Star.
Fun, video games, you watch a certain show, what's get your mind off of things?
Not big on video games. I like to get into all type of random stuff. Honestly, I like a bunch of different things. So All-Star break, I'm just gonna spend some time with my friends, my people, just hang out, spend some time. That's all.
And win the skills challenge.
That too.